There's another half of cheating that never gets discussed. See, people like to believe that men just they can't. They're like pits on a leash. They can't wait for you to let us go so we can run it. No, there's some dogs that'll never leave the yard. I had two dogs, Sivy and Zeus. They never left the yard. The only time they ran outside is if there was some sort of critter in the yard. Outside of that, they just treated outside like it was a bathroom, came back in and laid down. Do you know why? Because they know they had it good in the house. They know it's good in there. They know it's good in there. That's the same with men, if you want to call men dogs. That's the same with men. When we know it's good in there, what we want, we're not itching to run outside. We only go outside when it's absolutely necessary. Some of y'all have a man like that and still run around with the mental accusations. The nerve of you. As you distance yourself emotionally and physically. Because nobody talks about the passive push out. You know what the passive push out is, ladies and gentlemen? The passive push out is when a person stops doing the things that made their person attract to them and don't replace it with nothing. That's the passive push out. Oh, what happened to that? Like you try, you know what I'm saying? Like you might try to nestle up. You might try to get something popped off. With no communication as to why. That is the passive push out. I'm going to go on record to say 65% of married people do the passive push out. I say people to be fair. I do have a gender in mind because they're more prone for the passive push out. Because their passive push out, they can attribute it to something that may or may not exist in the eyes of the person they're saying it to. But if it's real to them, it has to be real to the other person. Because if we ignore it, heaven forbid we ignore something that's not real. The nerve of us. That's a real thing. The passive push out. When you remove those things that your partner once liked and don't replace it with anything, so now your partner's left to guess, so now your partner's left dry, your partner's cup is not being filled. How long do you think a person's going to be thirsty before they go find someplace else to drink? Because you've passively pushed out.